Hi Soccerlanders, welcome back to the channel. My name is 𝗔𝗯cie𝗂𝗰𝗲𝗏 and we are here at this point where Khusanov just had his first game for Manchester City. A couple of days have passed and now I'm ready to react to what people have said about him on social media, what Guardiola, coach of Manchester City, players of Manchester City, what they said about Khusanov's first game, what were the impressions. And also I want to talk about a little bit about my own experience watching Khusanov's first game. By the way, I filmed my reaction at that time when I was watching his game, and I posted it on Instagram. So make sure to follow my Instagram page, Music with Bob 97, also Soccerland USA. So both of these channels are active on Instagram and they're getting followers, so make sure to not miss out on exclusive content like the one I did about Khusanov. But enough of the intro, let's get started. Why is Abdulkadir Khusanov a big deal right now, not only for Uzbekistan but also for Asia? When it comes to Uzbekistan, for example, for me, he is born in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, which is the same city I was born in. That's my hometown, and right now I am in Tashkent, Uzbekistan for some time. And not only he is a big star right now for Uzbekistan, you know, he promoted Uzbekistan because people are getting familiar with Uzbekistan right now, but also he's very big for Asia in general, because not many celebrities and stars we have in football from Asia. Yes, we have Heung-min Son, and before we had Park Ji-sung, and of course there's more people like Japanese players, you know, a lot of famous Japanese players or Korean players, but not many famous players come out from Asia, or they don't get this spotlight like this as Khusanov is getting, in my opinion, because Khusanov is not only getting recognition in post-Soviet Union countries, like Kazakhstan or Russia, Uzbekistan, countries that speak in Russian. Not only he's getting that recognition there, but also it seems like in Great Britain they're talking about him. I'm seeing a lot of comments from different countries around the world talking about Khusanov and his potential, and how people are excited to see him grow and be a player of Manchester City. And even the views when it comes to Manchester City's Instagram views, when they presented that video where Khusanov was presented as Manchester City player, I think it got like around 30 million views, and that was better than most of the recent videos that Manchester City posted. Usually they don't get as many views, they usually get around maybe 3-4 million views, but Khusanov's video blew up, 30 million views, and they realized they're tapping into a new market, Manchester City themselves, and that's why now they're encouraging the conversations to keep happening by them posting about Khusanov, and they want to keep capitalizing on that success and that awareness. The whole Uzbekistan, at least probably, are tuned in to Khusanov's story, and therefore they watched that video on Instagram. They also followed on Instagram Manchester City's channel, the page. Yeah, like the Manchester City's follower count substantially increased after they signed Khusanov. Therefore, people are like in Britain and in Manchester City organization, they're probably wondering inside, whoa, like who did we sign? Like why there's so much attention around Khusanov all of a sudden? They probably thought they're just signing another player from France, Lens, but then realized once they got him, they realized, wow, so many people follow him, and because we all appeared out of nowhere, pretty much. Like when he was in Lens, okay, yeah, cool, that you're playing in France, but it's not one of the big clubs, you know. But then once he got into big clubs, everybody tuned in to him, including me. Like I was, oh, okay, like I've heard that there's another Uzbek player. It's always great to hear that there are Uzbek players abroad. It was already cool, yes, to hear that we have a player from Lens in France, but that rhymed. But it was still not the same level, of course, of excitement. But then once he signed into Manchester City, we were like, wait a second, are they really interested, or is this just a publicity stunt, rumors? Like, what is this? But then when it became reality, that's when we all go, holy smokes, wait, for real? Like, is that possible? Like, it blew our minds, Uzbek people. And therefore, a lot of people got excited, got happy. But then, when this first game happened, and let's talk about how it went, the first few minutes of the game, Khusanov was pretty good. He started an attack that almost led to a goal. It was a missed opportunity, but it was a dangerous one for Chelsea. They nearly avoided that one. So Khusanov was the one who started that attack with his pass forward. But then all of a sudden there is a miscommunication, and then Khusanov, you could feel him being worried and anxious still, because it's such a big occasion, Manchester City versus Chelsea, his first match, and his first match in the Premier League, and at this level, it's a complete 180 from Lens in France, and now one of the biggest games in the entire football. Of course, he was anxious. That led to this mistake he did in the first minutes, where he basically he kind of gave the ball to the Chelsea player in a dangerous spot, in a spot where you can create a golden chance and score a goal, and that's what happened, unfortunately. So Chelsea took the ball, went for a goal, and they scored after that mistake. And that's why, of course, you could see his face. He was, Khusanov was very sad and disappointed in himself in creating that. And then, a few minutes later, again, Chelsea is taking advantage that they see that, okay, there is some worry right now. Manchester City is also, the whole squad is shook after that moment for a little bit. And so Chelsea is taking advantage of that and going into attack again, and again another dangerous situation and position. And then Khusanov tackles Cole Palmer, so that at least Cole Palmer cannot get away with another possible goal. So he tackles Cole Palmer, one of my favorite players right now, and he receives a yellow card for that tackle, Khusanov. But once some time has passed, around 10-15 minutes, Manchester City calmed down. Manchester City started playing better, and Khusanov started to play better, and he did good things for the team in that first half. After that first mess up, nothing major happened, gladly. No more important, no more mistakes happened of that magnitude, and Khusanov played decently. And then once he got subbed off, everybody clapped. There was an ovation for Khusanov, and I'm really pleased that Khusanov got this ovation from English supporters, because Khusanov's spirit would have crumbled after that performance in the beginning. But seeing English supporters cheer for him, I'm sure that softened things a bit in his mind, and also the fact that Manchester City ended up winning 3-1 in the end was also a good thing, because it was just like now it could have, I mean, it can be treated as, okay, yeah, that mistake happened, but we won the game, you know, so it doesn't really matter kind of stuff. Next game, I'm just gonna do better and not gonna let that happen. That's it. And he of course wanted to show himself in a better way than what he did in the first of his match. But I think the sky is the limit still. I think the boy has so much potential, and he showed incredible football in Lens. I've seen some of his highlights. And the guy is a tank. The nicknames he has, well, for example, the first name is 𝗷𝗔𝗂𝗁, but people usually in Uzbekistan call him Qadir. Well, it's easier to shorten those kind of names, right? So people can just call him Qadir, or 𝗷𝗔𝗂𝗁, still people can call him. But he has nicknames like, in France, for example, they called him Flash, because he's super fast. He runs 37 kilometers per hour. He can run that kind of speed, which is crazy, which is the same speed as one of the fastest players, Kylian Mbappe, in football. So he has the same speed as Kylian Mbappe, which is pretty impressive. So that's why he's being called Flash, because he was the fastest in Lens, for example, in France. Also, some people call him a tank, because he's very sturdy, and he can, break anything, break the defense, break the offense in soccer. So yeah, he's tough, Unfortunately, in Uzbekistan, some of the people were not as supportive as English supporters, unfortunately. Our people, in Uzbekistan, they're just different breed, they're different kind. It's just, the mentality sometimes can surprise you of some people. But, everywhere, I assume, everywhere you have smart people and not so smart people. But in the end, some people in Uzbekistan turned down on Khusanov. Oh, he did this mistake. How could he? They left disappointed in him, and they made an impression that they're not gonna root for him anymore because of this mistake, which is why? You guys should still support him, because mistakes happen. Everybody make mistakes, including some of the best players in the entire history of football. Sergio Ramos never did a mistake, or Lionel Messi never did a mistake. People make mistakes, players make mistakes. It happens, so nothing to worry about, as long as you keep showing in the future games that you're still worthy. And he will, I'm 100% sure he will. No problem at all. Yes, but some Uzbek people, I don't know, I was disappointed in that. But some Uzbek people still, of course, showed support, like I am showing support. So all good on that front. And yes, guys, Khusanov is the asset for Uzbekistan right now, who is very important asset, because not only he represents Uzbekistan in the big stage for Manchester City, but also he represents Uzbekistan in the national team. And Khusanov, hopefully he will stay healthy, because Khusanov is needed this year in qualifying matches for World Cup of 2026. The qualifying matches will be over in June 2025, and if Khusanov with Uzbek national team will keep doing a good job that they have been doing this campaign, we will be in World Cup of 2026, which in United States, Mexico, and Canada, which is incredible. I really want that to happen, and I really pray for the fact that hopefully Uzbekistan will be in a group where they will be playing on United States soil, not in Mexico and Canada. I don't want to travel to Mexico or Canada to see my boys. I want to see them being in the United States, so it's easier travel for me. But yes, what else happened? Pep Guardiola, after the game, talked about Khusanov. Let's watch it.
5 minutes, what were you thinking about Khusanov and what he was like in the dressing room after the game?
Well, what I thought is not the best start, right? He will take a lesson, and yeah, he will learn. I was young, he will learn, I'm pretty sure. Take a lesson from that, and the reaction for the team. After that, Cole had the 2-0. Hopefully, he was so generous. And normally in that situation, Cole is a machine.
Cole
We were
Palmer.
lucky that he wrote the score, and after emotionally we come back, and not being, I would say, very exceptional, but we take the ball a lot, so a lot of passes. And
player who's so obviously struggling so early in his debut, how do you manage that as a manager? I mean, did you consider taking him off after 5 minutes just to get him out of there?
well, I have to learn Russian with Beko to communicate with him. He doesn't speak fluently, I would say, English.
Russian or Uzbek.
Listen, in this kind of situations,
Because they speak two languages in Uzbekistan.
He knows he makes a mistake. He doesn't know it. No, never having this kind of situations. Well, I did it once, last 1 or 2 years ago with Phil, but normally I put it inside and I said, what can I say? Don't make a mistake. He doesn't want to do it, so we know that. The reaction for the bench was amazing, the first start, and especially I make a substitution for Chorizo, mainly for the yellow card, not was for the mistake. And then especially I need John for the Wednesday because Mamouche and Khuza and Victor cannot play, and I need John, and John came for the injury and need a little bit rhythm.
Oh.
It was good to play these 35-40 minutes with us, and because the final we have on Wednesday with our people, of course, John is important.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so then about 10:30 on.
Interesting. So, I didn't. So it's not. So first of all, it's funny that he said that he needs to learn Uzbek or Russian. I mean, of course, Khusanov better learn English though. He will need that in life, and I hope that he will learn quick enough. And by the way, there are some people in Uzbekistan who are big, like famous, not famous, but they're well-known English teachers. Already supported Khusanov and said that, hey, like, we will help you with learning English. We will do it fast. So just contact us and we will do it. And it's easier for him to learn from people from our country still because they know the language Uzbek and Russian. They can communicate with him clearly, rather than him getting a English-speaking person only and not knowing what the hell this person is talking about. So of course, he needs a teacher from Uzbekistan or Russia, you know, like Russian-speaking people. Another thing that caught my attention that he said, I didn't substitute Khusanov off because of that mistake. I substituted him off because of the yellow card he received in the beginning. So he didn't want him to potentially tackle again and get a red card and have a whole team suffer, and then not having Guardiola able to play Khusanov again in the next match. So that was interesting to me that he said that, and plus he apparently Khusanov and new players like Mamouche and Reis, so these guys cannot play for in Champions League for Manchester City yet. So I did not know that. I thought we're gonna see him against Bruges on Wednesday. We will have to wait for another Premier League game, which is gonna happen this weekend. I did not know these things. I'm glad that I watched this interview actually with you guys. But yeah, it seems like Guardiola is saying that he will, you know, take a lesson and learn, and it's going to be okay. We'll move forward.
Khusanov obviously was thrown straight into the team at the weekend, and he had a difficult start. How did you see him respond on the pitch, and what have you done as a group to kind of make him feel settled here at Manchester City?
I think first of all he's a nice guy. I haven't talked to him, but he seems a nice guy. He's done a great job last game. It wasn't easy, especially to make a debut against Chelsea in the Premier League. The good thing is that he's still young, I think he's gonna be here for a long time, and all I can say is that we are here to help him, and everything he needs, he can ask me or the experienced ones.
That's good.
Josko, one of the big things about your Champions League campaign this year has been...
Okay, yes. Okay, good to hear from Guardiola. You know, Guardiola is being nice to Khusanov, that's awesome. And yeah, I think overall, pretty interesting debut, a pretty interesting start of his Manchester City career when it comes to, and we're gonna leave it at that. Let me know in the comments below what else you want to see, maybe about Khusanov or maybe about San Diego FC or different content. Just let me know in the comments below what you would like to watch. I'm eager to read all the comments. I would love to read the comments. One idea I have is to see Khusanov's rating in EAFC, aka FIFA 25. I would like to see Khusanov's rating. I don't know it yet, so maybe we can do it together in the video. Let me know if you would like to see that. But for now, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in the next ones. Bye bye.